We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. This line by Joseph Campbell is perhaps the most apt way to describe this episode. Sneha Pradhan never had the plan to become a writer, especially a children's book writer. She stumbled into becoming one. In this episode with Sneha, who is a children's author and a visual storyteller, we talk about how her graphic comic, Yelp, Yeti, Chaos in Kathmandu, came to be. Yelp, Yeti is written by Sneha and illustrated by Promina Shrestha. It is originally published in the UK by Flying Eye Books and is published in Nepal by Fine Prints. Yelp Yeti has been featured in the American Library Association's book list, School Library Journal, Publishers Weekly, among others. Thank you for tuning in to How'd You Create That? The podcast is supported by the Open Institute for Social Science. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. We are also on Substack with curated writings from the podcast on creativity and the creative life. I'm your host, Alfa. Hi, Sneha.
Hi, Alfa.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Lovely to have you, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
How's the day going?
Good so far. It's sunny. That's nice.
Yes, it was raining yesterday.
I know. It was freezing.
And I was guessing जाडो हुन्छ आज भनेर, but it's okay so far.
Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice. True. So your book, Yelp Yeti, is out. And tell us something about the book.
Yes. Very happy that it's finally out and it's now also available here in Nepal. And the book is about a little boy who spots a Yeti in his home in Kathmandu. And it's summer and the Yeti comes and starts creating havoc. And the boy starts getting the blame. And it's the story about how he kind of tries to catch the Yeti, but also how this friendship begins to form between them. Yeah.
Wow. I've read the book. It's beautiful. I love the illustrations. And there's also a character, Tuna, the cat. I love cats.
Yeah. Tuna is adorable.
Tunas are adorable. True. So how did you get drawn to children's literature? Like, did you have a dream, since a very long time, or did it emerge along the way?
So I used to read a lot when I was a kid. Books were kind of my escape. I just loved reading. And then, as I went to grad school and even I think bachelor's ma huँदाखेरि पनि, just the coursework and load and then work just got so much that reading kind of took a backseat for me त्यो बेलामा. But what happened was grad school हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ final year grad school कोमा चाहिँ I had this health scare के. And मलाई एकदमै अलिकति eyesमा I developed this severe dry eye issue where it became difficult for me to look at screens and things like that. And so so after I graduated, I was taking a pause and so that's when I got back into reading. So reading चाहिँ in a different form. So I started listening to a lot of audiobooks then. So pretty much all I was doing during that time was I was taking walks and going by the lake and then kind of meditating and stuff, but also listening to audiobooks day in and day out. And then that's when I was you know what? I feel like writing something. And I just began writing and I didn't think oh, I'm it's going to be anything just though. It just came to me, inspiration just struck. I was okay, I'm just going to write this thing, Bonera, which kind of turned into the first chapter of my young adult novel, which I'm still working on. And I wrote that first chapter and I showed it to my husband and my brother and they were oh my God, this is pretty cool. You should continue this, Bonera. And that's how I kind of started writing that novel. Ani, यसै त्यो नोभल सकाएर फर्स्ट ड्राफ्ट सकाएर म ब्रेक लिइरहेको थिएँ अनि समथिङ जस्ट स्ट्रेन्ज ह्यापन जस्तो के I just started getting यो Yelp Pani and like these other children books which I've written also, I just getting like downloads just okay on like our
downloads as in like
I would just be sitting and inspiration would just strike and I would have like these complete stories just in my head. And त्यो बेलामा पनि I was like writing just for fun. Like I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying this. I'm writing just for fun भनेर लेखिरहेको थिएँ. अनि त्यसपछि I think like, I don't know, I'm a very spiritual person and I feel like that health scare and then like this detour, it was like kind of divine intervention भन्ने कि like I don't know what it was, like this rerouting जस्तो. And so yeah, त्यो स्टोरिजहरू आइरहेको थियो मलाई. अनि त्यसपछि just त्यही टाइममा coincidentally I got this like I don't know, one social media ma I got this ad for एउटा children's यस्तो literature course जस्तो के like a short like 2-week program or something. अनि मैले चाहिँ मेरो novel चाहिँ होल्डमा राखिरहेको थिएँ त्यो बेलामा because you have to leave it for a while before you can go back to it and edit it हैन. So त्यो भइरहेको थियो and I was like okay यसै बसिरहेको छु like randomly आएको. I wasn't searching anything किनभने मैले त्यो picture bookहरू or like त्यो children's bookहरू त्यो book फर्ममा भनेर पनि सोचेको थिएन कि just like story फर्ममा आइरहेको थियो नि त मलाई. And I'm like okay, I'm interested, I'll just like take a look भनेर I started taking a few classes and I was like okay, really like into it के. So के गर्न थाले भने I was like one of the suggestions त्यहाँ त्यो कोर्समा चाहिँ was like you need to read a lot भनेर हैन. I was like okay, you don't need to tell me anything more भनेर. So म शिकागोमा थिएँ त्यो टाइममा and we had this like Chicago Public Library like 10 minutes away जस्तो के. अनि I went there and I used to just like go into the library and collect like 12-15 books and like bring it back and just like keep on like reading the books के. अनि it like really like reading those picture books like बच्चा बेलामा पढायो हो but पछि पढ्दाखेरि चाहिँ I just realized कि oh my god, like I was so impressed with the authors and illustrators who were able to express themselves like कस्तो beautiful way ma in like very like short के भने like just a few words and you know like through illustrations they're telling like complete stories in say like 24 spreads or something like that. And I'm literally reading these stories and I'm like laughing and I'm sobbing and I'm like oh my god, like you know children's books can be like this powerful pani bhanera ke. And I was already getting these like story ideas, so I was like you know I think this is something I might want to like look into professionally. So that's how I got started. Yeah.
So it started with reading.
Yeah, of course.
And then ended up creating something. That's amazing. So you were saying the stories came to you like in the form of, we can call it intuition, we can call it so many other things. So where did the idea for Yelp Yeti come? Like how did it begin?
So let's go into the backstory a little bit. When I went to the US, and I know that this is the story of a lot of other friends too. A lot of people, when I tell them, hey, I'm from Nepal,
Mount Everest.
Yeah. They're like, oh, it must be so cold, or have you climbed Mount Everest? And like, I've even gotten questions like, oh, do yaks just run around where you're from? And I just realized ki, oh wow, people don't really realize how diverse Nepal actually is bhanera, or like kati manchehru like Kathmandu kasto cha nai thaha chaina bhanera ke. So that's kind of the backstory. Tara your actual story chahi I was in my apartment Chicago ma like midnight jasto थियो होला. I just couldn't sleep that night. I don't know what happened. Ani I was just making myself some tea and basiraheko thiएँ. And then like this idea just popped into my head, okay? And it was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if like this little boy spotted a Yeti? And because like we all know Yetis are like usually spotted in the Himalayas or something like that. I know like the myth anusar pani त्यस्तै हुन्छ नि त. And like I thought it would be such a fun way to show like the absurdity of the Yeti here in Kathmandu summer market. And I was like, oh, that's fun. And then like त्यो thought मात्रै आइरहेको थियो. Then like it just, the entire story just started coming to me verse मा के. So I can just like recite a little bit, right? So यस्तो थियो के. I think I saw a Yeti. Yup, a Yeti I did see. But now I sit and wonder, how could that ever be? Kathmandu is hot and sunny, not a single flake of snow. Maybe Yetis love sunbathing and we just didn't know. So
wow, it's like a poem.
Yeah. So like it just came to me in rhyme. And the entire story, like the whole verse ma rhyming picture book form ma, like I could visualize. So I'm a very visual person, okay? And while the story was coming, I could like visualize everything that was happening, and I just like wrote it like day night ma throughout the night.
So this happened after you took the children's literature course?
No, this was before.
That was before.
Remember, I told you like I was just getting like these story ideas.
Oh, yeah.
So this was before. And like that just came to me and I got so excited, I know. And my husband was sleeping, so I couldn't wake him up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call my brother. So I called my brother and I'm like, listen to this. And so this just came to me, okay? And he was like, oh, that's cool. And I don't even know whether I slept that night. I just like waited for my husband to get up, and like as soon as he was awake, I was like, hey, you suna na. This is what I wrote.
Oh.
And he was like, oh my God, it's actually good. So I was just having fun. I wasn't even thinking like or anything, but like I told my husband and he was like, oh my God, this is actually really good. Maybe you should publish it just, okay? Like, so the conversation happened there and I was like, we'll see. Like, but like, here we are now.
That's how it started. Oh, yeah. So you said you're a very spiritual person, so you believe in intuitions a lot.
Yeah, I do. A lot. Yeah.
How was it like working with an illustrator in the process? You worked with Promina Shrestha. How was that like? And do you call yourselves like co-authors, or because usually author एउटा हुन्छ नि, illustrated by भनेर हुन्छ नि त, but तपाईको bookमा चाहिँ instead of illustrated by, there's like both of your names are there. So I was just curious how that was.
So I guess we can say co-creators, right?
Co-creators, yeah.
तर कस्तो भने I guess like it's the format where like you publishing उसमा चाहिँ उनीहरूले author र illustrator को यसरी नै
usually त्यसरी राखिरा हुन्छ.
So यसरी नै राखिरा हुन्छ. So the story चाहिँ like कसरी भयो भने, so initially चाहिँ मैले चाहिँ commission गरेको प्रोमिनालाई. So picture book format थियो हैन, and I knew I wanted to work with an illustrator, Nepali artist, and I wanted someone who would be able to kind of showcase your Kathmanduko, like all these like these details and architecture and stuff like that. But I also wanted like the illustrations to be really fun, okay? Whimsical, and I knew like I had like this certain dimagma kasto khaliko bhanera, and when I saw Promina's work, like I was just like, okay, this is the person, because like she does such a nice job of like marrying whimsy and like these cultural nuances or just, okay. And so like that's how I kind of commissioned her to do the picture book beginning ma, and त्यसपछि so yeah, like the experience was, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect, and this was the first time I was ever like doing something like this, but it was a very pleasant experience. किनभने मलाई चाहिँ the best part about like your book creation process was when like these characters started coming to life through Promina's illustrations. Okay, so like of course writing was like really, really fun, and then like after that, when like the illustrations began, we could kind of see like the story coming to life, Nita. So that process was like like I don't know, that was one of the best feelings for me to see these characters come to life. Ani so Promina सँग चाहिँ collaboration चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो भयो, in that कि creatively चाहिँ we think alike के. So I had like certain things I wanted to illustrations ma हुन्छ नि, अनि like certain like loose guidelines haru, and Promina came in and like she not only understood my vision, but she like brought in like so much of her own like details and all these like fun, playful kuraharu huncha ni. So that was really good. And त्यसपछि like storyline ma pani भनौं न अब you tuna. So anyone who knows Promina, knows that she's such a cat person, So like picture book form ma gareko belama beginning ma चाहिँ they didn't have a pet. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I didn't envision a pet for him. Like the storyline was what it was. And this
the boy and the Yeti matrai.
Yeah, the boy and the Yeti matrai थियो. And then like Promina was like, hey, would it be cool if I added a cat? And I was like, yeah, go for it. That would be really cute. Okay? And then like she did such a wonderful job with the cat. Like the beginning picture book form ma hunदाखेरि पछि, like I guess we'll talk about it a little bit more about how it developed into a graphic reader हैन. तर beginning मा चाहिँ त्यो storyline मा थियो picture मा थियो, but like त्यस्तो the storyलाई impact गरिरहेको थिएन. But later चाहिँ मैले rewrite गरेको बेलामा as a graphic reader, because like त्यो cat played like the cat was like so adorable. I was like, okay, it was very natural for me to think of like Tuna as Dave's best friend and kind of write and shape the story that way. Okay, so yeah.
No, that is so wonderful. How did you collaborate? Collaborate भन्दा पनि, how did it work between you and Promina? Like, would you sit together and then maybe you'd make stick figures, or would you like give her descriptions, like you were saying, rough guidelines or बनाइराको थियो भनेर?
So कस्तो हुन्छ भने what I do is when I write यो especially यो graphic reader मा त कस्तो हुन्छ भने we write illustration notes हुन्छ के. So because यो कुनै पनि graphic form मा त it's very यो visual storytelling भएपछि the story त pictures go through and through text and narrative combined गरिरहेको हुन्छ नि त. So के गरेर हुन्छ भने I'll write the words and I'll be telling setting के हो and what are the characters doing, or like certain कतिमा त अब pictures को through story भइरहेको हुन्छ, words necessary हुँदैन हैन. So I'll be saying like, okay, what are the characters doing, story कसरी अगाडि बढिरहेको छ images मा भनेर के. So those are the guidelines के.
Oh, that's interesting. So what's like you were saying, Agi, this started as a picture book and then changed into like a would you call this comic or के भन्छ यो style like?
It's called a graphic reader.
Graphic reader.
So it's like an in between so picture book र say a graphic novel को in between no comic को in between.
Okay.
Because it's targeted to alikati younger audiences. And यसमा चाहिँ so say a graphic novel मा त्यस्तो narrative धेरै नहोला हैन, dialogues हरु बढी हुन्छ नि त. अनि so अनि त्यसपछि यसमा चाहिँ अब narrative को through पनि भइराको हुन्छ, but also like dialogues
पनि. So it's like in between a graphic novel or a comic and a picture book.
Yeah.
So a picture book would usually text heavy हुन्छ, setting मात्रै हुन्छ, like एउटा picture हुन्छ अनि there's a lot of text happening, but this is like in between.
Yeah, so text or images go through story भइरा हुन्छ, त्यति धेरै हुँदैन हैन, dialogues हरु त्यस्तरी हुँदैन. So yeah.
How did you switch to graphic reader, like picture book बाट कसरी त्यो emerge भयो?
So
or change भयो?
यो चाहिँ through Flying Eye हो के. So
Flying Eye is the publisher.
Flying Eye is the publisher हैन. So when I pitched to Flying Eye beginning ma I got this यो graphic reader ma switch चाहिँ what happened was after pitching to Flying Eye, Sam, who's the creative director, he got back to me and he told me that like he loved the storyline and everything, and like the story, thought their team at Flying Eye, they thought that it would be better suited as a graphic reader. So he was telling me ki, like, you can expand more when it's a graphic reader, more narrative rakhna milcha, the storyline can expand, we can even have like series going on, and that's how it switched. So in the beginning I was like very hesitant, but I got around to it. Yeah.
Oh, how was the process of switching? Picture book ko एउटा process थियो होला side, which you were already in the motion, and then you had to switch to graphic reader. So how did you and Promina adjust or expand?
So it was a very long process. Beginning ma actually, when Sam told me, ki like we love the idea, but we think you should rewrite it as a graphic novel. Bandakiri एकछिनको लागि त I just like paused And I didn't respond for a while because like I needed to gather my thoughts. I was like, oh my God, I spent so much energy and you know, like I was like so much in love with the picture book format.
So you had already worked with Promina picture book mai. सुरु भइसकेको थियो सबै.
सुरु भइसकेको थियो सबै. सो के गरेको थिए भने प्रोमिनालाई कमिसन गरेर यो पिक्चर बुक सक्यो हैन. डु यु वान्ट मी टु गो इन्टु लाइक अ लिटल बिट कसरी यो प्रोसेस क्रोनोलोजिकली आई थिंक द्याट माइट मेक मोर सेन्स. या सो के भयो थियो भने कमिसन गर्यो एन्ड सक्यो एन्ड आई वाज लाइक ओके. इनिसियली चाहिँ मैले के सोचिरहेको थिएँ भने देयर वाज अ पब्लिसर आई रियली वान्टेड टु pitch this to भनेर के. And it was like this boutique publisher in New York. अनि I was in Kathmandu for a limited time. अनि म शिकागो गएर अनि त्यसपछि pitch गर्छु भनेर बसिरहेको थिएँ. And then I reached there and I see like this publisher had stopped accepting manuscripts because they were closed to queries.
Oh my.
And I was so sad because I kind of like had my heart set on that, I know. I was like, oh my God, ke गर्ने त भनेर. And I was like, okay, should I try self-publishing ki भनेर पनि that thought came to me. And I tried like printing it through Amazon pani. So just like a test copy.
They do
and
that,
I saw like the quality wasn't where I wanted it to be भनेर. And also because like this was my debut book, I know, I knew that there was a lot I could learn and like just design and quality wise pani I didn't want to put my name on something that I wasn't proud of. Okay? So I kind of knew I wanted to do it traditionally, but that becomes very difficult when like the artwork is already set and all of that pani, you know. And that's why I was looking at this particular publisher who would kind of like go with testo bhaisakeko projects haru bhane tha thyo ke. And one day I was just like scrolling through my phone and I was looking at that publisher like just feeling sad. And then like in suggestions, so I think I was on Twitter. It was when Twitter was still Twitter, right? And then like I saw suggestions, Flying Eye Books.
Okay.
And then I just like went in and I looked at the books they did and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I just went in because a lot of publishers don't take unsolicited manuscripts, which is like you need to have an agent before you can pitch to them, you know? And so I just like looked at them and their submissions were open. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to submit. Okay? I just like immediately, I just like opened my laptop and I was like started working on the query letter and things like that. And त्यो बेला I remember, I told my husband कि हामी walkमा जाने भनेर हैन. And he came and I was like, एकछिन है, give me some like give me half an hour, I just want to send this in भनेर. So I just like wrote up that query letter, just like polished it, and then I sent off the manuscript. And usually like when you send manuscripts like this, publishing world ma यस्तो unagented यसरी directly पठाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ it usually goes into slush pile, which is like यस्तो manuscript anyone can send in just the manuscript ma. And it takes a really long time to get an answer, or like you never hear back. Okay? And like I just did it without like much expectations. I was very excited about the publisher, but I was like, I don't know when I'll hear back. I just like sent it. And I was like, yeah. And I just was like, no, okay, let's go on that walk. And then I think this was Thursday or Friday. The surprising thing is I got a response from Sam, who's the creative director, on Monday. Okay?
Oh, wow. Right after the weekend.
Yeah. And I was so surprised when I opened my email because I wasn't expecting that at all. And I get this letter and, I get this email and it says, hey, Sneha, I really enjoyed your work. Can we have a chat? And I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
Wow.
So, okay, I was like, okay, I can get on that call. And then that's how the process started. I got on a call with Sam. At that point, Promina Sanga, the commission work
the picture
was
book
like,
was already
it was done. Like we had wrapped up. And this was so like that was kind of done okay, for that time being, I know. And I spoke with Sam and त्यो बेलासम्म पनि Sam was like, okay, like I really enjoy your work. So you would say it's a combination of like it was also very lucky. Okay? So he told me what happened was he was actually in the inbox when my email came through.
Oh.
And the title just like, he was just interested. He was like, the title piqued his interest. And so he just like went into it and he looked at the story and like the picture book and he just found it like really good banera. So he was telling me how, like, I don't remember exact numbers, like hundreds or thousands, like he gets like kati emails on it. But like when he opened the book, he was like, he just really, really enjoyed the story and and there were just like a few things. He wanted to ask me whether like I was open to editing a few stuff. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Ani process kasto hudo rahecha bhane chai, they have this meeting every month jasto rahecha ke. So acquisitions meeting bhanera, where like a team of like all these other people also have to sign off on a project before like a project is approved. So Sam was like, okay, let's do a few edits and I'll take it to acquisitions. And like, this isn't like an offer or anything. Thought like, this is like, I'm interested. So we'll see like what the acquisitions team says. So this might say sales, marketing. So
it's a whole other world.
Yeah. So like, it was like completely new. So like sales looks at like sales potentials. So they had like, I think North America my sales team too, and say London based too, I know. So they had all of these things going on. And I was like, okay, I did a few edits and sent it in. Thought that's when I got the response key. Like, the team thinks like it's really good, but we think it would do really well as a graphic reader.
Oh.
So we don't know whether you're open to it, but like we would be interested if you would want to rewrite it as a graphic reader. So that's how like the thing came in. And yeah, I was like, when I got that email first, like beginning it just felt like a rejection to me. Okay? Because I was like, oh my God, what is this graphic reader? Like, I've never heard of anything like that.
And confirm bhako थिएन. So they were not, like, even if you changed to graphic reader, there was no guarantee it was going to be published.
No guarantee.
It was like a feedback more like.
I was like, I don't know what to do, Vanera. And I was just like, they're sad, and my family, who's like always been so supportive, my husband and my brother and my parents were like, well, try garu na ta ke huncha ra bhanera. And I was like, I wasn't ready because I had spent so much energy and like so much time creating that picture book version ki like त्यो completely नै scrap गरेर नयाँ गर्ने भन्दाखेरि, and in a genre which I have no idea about.
So completely scrap गर्नु पर्यो, like a lot of it.
The storyline is the same, but it was
style फरक
भयो. Style completely फरक. Because like from rhyming picture book to it would now be like this graphic reader with prose, narratives, dialogues, I know. So completely different form. I don't know whether like I'm going to be able to do it. Ani, I was just like, I didn't know what to do. Then Sam emailed me again because I hadn't responded. And he was like, hey, I just wanted to reach out and do you want to get on a call so I can explain this better? Because we really do like the project. We think that like potential wise, say it's going to be way better if it's turned into a graphic reader vanera, okay? And we're here to support you vanera. And he told me that like even if you develop, like we're gonna like give you feedback and stuff like that, and even if we don't end up like taking this book, you're going to be free to like query anywhere else. Okay? So like you're not going to be tied to us. Like timle je develop garyo, it's going to be completely your own. I got on that call and I felt much better. So Flying Eye, let's say, they're like kind of pioneers in doing stuff like this. Your graphic reader format, they have a lot of like successful graphic readers. And Sam sent me like some of their books and samples, and he was like, just let me know whether like you want to go ahead and do it, Vanera. I took some time, I meditated, and mero like bhai, husband and my family, and they were like, do it, you have to do it. Like just do it, Vanera. And I think like at that point, I was like, okay, Vanera. So what I did first was I started reading as much as I could.
Graphic readers.
So I read
the
like,
form.
Once again, I went to the library. I got everything they had. Flying Eye ko purano books haru pani, like everything the library had, whatever Sam gave me. I read a lot of like Jeff Kinney's work, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, things like that. And then I put like त्यो बेलामा यस्तो थियो कि सो मेरो डेस्क थियो होइन अनि I put like everything all of the books I enjoyed सबै अगाडि as inspo and then I sat to write के and I was like okay because I was like so nervous about it हुन्छ नि बिगिनिङमा गर्न सक्छ सक्दैन and it was a lot of pressure I was like okay I can't take this much pressure so what I told myself was like I'm going to do my best and I'm going to have fun while doing it and like I'm going to do my best and that's all I can do and whatever happens if it happens if it doesn't like it doesn't matter okay so that's how I went in and I don't know once I started writing I just fell in love with this art form okay like something just clicked I just enjoyed doing this so much malai Sam had told me I could give I think around like 6-7 spreads त्यो पनि नसके 3-4 spreads हैन 2 week को time frame or something थियो
yes so you had to illustration हरु कहाँ जान्छ भनेर पनि roughly आफैले डिसाइड गर्नुपर्ने थियो like visual
visually पनि like के हुन्छ त भनि नै राको हुन्छ त्यसमा of course हैन त्यो illustrations को थ्रु के भइराको हुन्छ
कस्तो एउटा प्यानल कहाँ हुन्छ यो प्यानल पछि कसरी मुभ हुन्छ that also you had to work
so kind of in a way गर्नु पर्छ and that kind of gets worked on by the designer layout हरुमा everything त्यो त चेन्ज हुन्छ नै हैन पछि तर story format को लागि कसरी जान्छ भनेर त्यो rough idea त
so you had to rework on that
yeah so like spread 1 spread 2 so मैले लेख्दाखेरि it was like a 24 pages को 48 pages को 24 spreads को like small picture book थियो अनि त्यसपछि अब चाहिँ like it had turned into like यो लेख्दै थिए के म अनि मलाई कति spreads लेख भनेर भनेको थियो and like you can just give like a gist भनेर भनेको थियो within that 2 weeks I ended up finishing the whole entire manuscript okay
like reworking
the entire manuscript so like instead of few spreads I had like done everything I was like so into it I would be like just writing away and then त्यो बेलामा COVID को बेला COVID ठ्याक्क सकेको के थियो अनि त्यसपछि my husband was also working from home त्यो बेलामा अनि he used to come for like अब coffee breaks or like हाम्रो living room थियो हैन ठ्याक्क छेउमा kitchen थियो के अनि he used to come अनि त्यसपछि हामी lunch prepare गरेर बेलामा or something and I would be like oh my god this is what I wrote and this is what's happening and like you know it was the entire process was so fun okay it didn't feel like work at all
wow
so like I was just able to breeze through the entire thing had a blast while doing it and sent it over and they were like oh my god this is pretty good भनेर and then अब illustrations को कुरा आयो हैन what do we do with the illustrations
because you made the rough the format change गर्यो you made like यो panel हुन्छ यहाँ चाहिँ
panel नै wise चाहिँ भनेको हुँदैन के so panel level सम्म जानु पर्दैन spread level सम्म मात्रै हुन्छ
so यो दुईटा spread मा यहाँ चाहिँ यो character जस्तै देव र टुनाले यतिलाई देख्छ यतिले chaos मचाइराको हुन्छ something like that
so story भइरा हुन्छ हैन अनि त्यसपछि like okay यहाँ spot गरिराछ उनीहरु खाइराछ like यो गरिराछ हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो हुन्छ के or like कहिलेकाहीँ त्यस्तो स्पेसिफिक हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ it'll be like okay like यस्तो mischief गरिराछ like some form of mischief हुनुपर्छ like might be यो ideas but you can
it's open to change
okay so त्यस्तो टाइपको हुन्छ के अनि illustrations मा अनि because like Promina had done such a good job she'd put in so much energy अनि Promina सँग सुरुमै गरेको बेलामा चाहिँ Prominaले के रे if you ever do a part 2 or something like that हुन्छ नि series भयो भने चाहिँ I would love to come in as a partner भनेर भनेको थियो के not as a commission because like she loved the story and like she really enjoyed my writing style also and she was like if we work together I would come in as like I would love to come in as a partner not as like यस्तो हुन्छ नि hiring relationship जस्तो भनेर अनि त्यसपछि Prominaले त्यति अब effort लगाइसकेको थियो and like I really loved her art style so I spoke with Sam and I was like I think I really like Promina kai artwork can we get her to do the illustrations भनेर के so त्यो sign off हुनलाई पनि time लाग्यो के they were like okay yeah we think our work is really good तर त्यो चाहिँ picture book form मा थियो this is a completely different
style
so we need to see कि stylistically के गर्न सक्छ grow up गर्नुपर्छ यो हुनुपर्छ भनेर then like I spoke to Promina and she was like yeah I would love to do it भन्यो उसले पनि and then like I connected her to Sam अनि कुराहरु भयो then त्यहाँको art directorहरुसँग कुरा भएर a lot of round of illustrations को पनि multiple rounds गएर त्यसपछि sign off भएर and then we got like this 3 book series deal
A lot going on
I
behind
know.
the scene.
Yeah.
When did it start? When did you start writing Yelp Yeti?
Oh my god, I think 4 years भयो कि अब, like I think it was 2021.
2021.
Some point 2021 ma I wrote it. And त्यसपछि I just left it. As I told you, I had no intention of like doing anything with it त्यो beginning ta, because I was working on the novel and like it just came as a hobby jasto. And त्यसपछि बिस्तारै like त्यही त्यो जुन course लिएँ, and then I was like, okay, I think I want to do it भनेर अनि so I started editing it a little हैन. अनि त्यो गरेर अनि त्यो गरेर छोडिरहेको थिएँ. 2022 मा म नेपालमा आएको थिएँ. अनि त्यसपछि त्यो बेलामा चाहिँ I was here for a few months, हैन. Like मेरो बिहा थियो कि त्यो बेलामा हैन. I was getting married. अनि त्यसपछि I was here for that, but म त्यो बेलामा पनि नोभलमै गरिरहेको थिएँ कि. अनि बिचमा चाहिँ यस्तो टाइम आएको थियो कि where like के कामहरु पनि भइरहेको थियो, and I was kind of getting frustrated with like the editing ko process difficult भइरहेको थियो. And so here's where the like spiritual also kind of like ties in हुन्छ नि. अनि I was feeling like really frustrated, and one day I was just like meditating. I was working त्यो मैले सोचेकै थिएन खासै एलपीटी को बारेमा धेरै at that point हैन. म like त्यो नोभलमा वर्क गरिरहेको थिएँ, and I was like everything was like really loud in my head, so I was like okay, I'm going to meditate. अनि म meditate गर्न बसेँ, and I just like got this voice where like out of nowhere I was like I need to work on this book भनेर के. That like just intuition हुन्छ नि, like that's what I need to be doing right now, like pause that novel, do this book भनेर. I was like what, just because I had no idea के गर्ने कसो गर्ने.
What is like, this voice?
Yeah, but that intuition was so strong कि हुन्छ नि, I just couldn't ignore it just a type. So as soon as I like got out of that meditation, I just like messaged a friend who was like your industry ma, like she had worked a little bit. So I messaged Ritika, and I just asked her whether she knew any illustrators immediately. And I also asked my brother, and like I asked a couple of people like Nepal ma ko illustrator kasto cha bhanera. And Ritika recommended, like she gave me a list of people on this pachi. Promina was on like multiple lists actually. And like when I looked at her art, like I just knew it. Okay. So
wow. A lot of work, a lot of happy coincidences.
Yeah.
That's just life. Would you like to read something from Yelp Yeti?
Sure. So what's just happened is Dev and Tuna, they've just spotted the Yeti. Or they think they've spotted a Yeti. And so I'm just going to start reading.
Sure.
Am I dreaming again? Is it still winter? Pinch me, Tuna. So Dave is really wondering what's happening. Did he just see a Yeti or not? And he's asking Tuna to pinch him, and Tuna actually pinches him in the picture. So, yeah. The thing about Dave was he had a big imagination. He loved to dream up all kinds of stories about aliens, monsters, and superheroes. But that pinch just now really hurt. So this time, he wasn't daydreaming. So Dave and Tuna, they're just like running away. Dave raced to find his ma. She'd know what to do. Grandmas always did. Dave panted and spluttered as he described what he'd just seen. But between all of Ma's it became clear that she didn't believe him. I heard you, Baba. A Yeti in sunny Kathmandu. So you know how like kids are always saying stuff, and sometimes adults, they just like nod along and say, yeah, oh. Dave paused to think. Ma had a point. There wasn't a single flake of snow outside. And Yetis can't possibly survive the sweltering heat without an infinite supply of chilled lassies. Can they? So he's thinking to himself now. Well, maybe it's on holiday. Yetis could love sunbathing just as much as you, Ma. Sigh. Or maybe I've been watching too much TV. Dave wasn't sure if Ma was even listening. Her zombie-like head nod meant that there was no getting through to her now. 15 minutes later, Dave and Tuna were busy making gooey green slime when they heard the hallway floor creak as something whooshed past them. Whoosh! They cautiously peeked into the hallway, wondering where the noise came from. Did you hear that, Tuna? Do you think it's the Yeti? Now, what they're doing is they're just like going through the house. They tiptoed silently out of the room and stared along the empty hallway. Tuna spotted a trail of sweet wrappers, biscuit crumbs, and half-eaten donuts, which led them right up the stairs. Hey, Sweaty Yeti! Me and Tuna are black belt karate masters, so you better hope we can't catch you. So, yeah, that's where they are, and we need to see whether they're going to find the Yeti
Find
or
the
not.
Yeti or not. You have to read the book
Yeah.
to find the Yeti or not. Wow. That was really beautiful. And that
Thank
was
you.
a reminder, I think, our whole conversation to believe in God feelings. And also when things work out, like it's like the universe working it out for you. Shall we move to rapid fire?
Oh, sure.
And before that, a quick shout out to our snack partner, Balsa Newari Kitchen. We'll be having the snack afterwards.
Thank you.
Okay, ready for rapid fire?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite children's book?
I don't have a favorite as such, but I have a few that I really enjoy. So graphic उसमा चाहिँ Diary of a Wimpy Kid I really enjoyed. And त्यसपछि एउटा picture bookमा चाहिँ there's one called Wishes.
By?
I forget the name. It's by a Vietnamese author. And the illustrations and just the storyline, it's about a Vietnamese refugee, and it's about this little girl and her journey about how she, like her refugee journey, and it's just like a lyrical prose, very like few words, it just like encapsulates the feelings so well. Like I just sobbed through the whole story, and it's very beautifully done. So I'm sorry, I can't remember like the
other one. No, that's fine.
Oh, I know, but like, yeah.
No worries. Do you snack while writing?
Not a lot. Sometimes, like sometimes I'll have some fruits or things like that, but not
really.
lot, yeah.
But when you do have, what snack do you have?
I like fruits. So like, yeah.
Oh, favorite fruit?
Apples? Or like, no, my favorite fruit, mangoes.
Oh, mangoes. Yeah. Okay, snacking on mangoes. Yeah. That sounds good. A favorite time of the day to write?
Usually late morning, afternoonish. But once I'm into a project, like it doesn't matter. I'll write day in, day out.
Day out. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
No favorite time if you are in the middle of a project. Okay. If you had to pick one character from Yelp Yeti that you could meet in real life, which character would that be?
Oh my God. I would want to meet June. I just love June.
June, yeah. She's a very interesting character. Yep, I agree. Nice choice.
I think we could be friends.
Oh. Yeah. When you have a writer's block, what do you do to get out of it?
I go on walks usually. That's helpful. I'll just leave the project for a while and then I'll go on a walk. I'll meditate. That really helps me ground as well. Yeah.
Is there a favorite writing advice that you use?
For myself? Or in general?
In general as well.
I think reading is like the advice I would give everybody in anything. Like, because like for me, developing my style and for me to learn like what I enjoy, what kind of techniques I like, reading has been like instrumental. And I just feel like, when you read a lot, you kind of develop all those, not habits necessarily, but like, you kind of understand what techniques you enjoy and like, the writing style and everything. So yeah.
Do you like to type on a computer or a digital device or write by hand?
All of the above.
Oh, all of the above.
So cool. What I usually do is I like to brainstorm on my notebook. So I'll brainstorm and I do outlines and things like that on my notebook. And then I'll use my books notebook, which is an e-ink reader. So it's easier on the eyes. It's very portable. So I'll do the first draft over there. So I'll do the entire writing process over there. And then the heavy editing and things like that, I use my laptop.
Oh, wow. Is there anything you want to share with emerging writers who might be listening?
I think just have fun. Whatever you're doing, like when you're writing, make sure you're having fun, or like you're really feeling the emotions while you're doing it, because I think that really translates to, the reader as well. And like with everything, not everybody is going to like what you're doing, right? Like there might be award-winning books, which I don't particularly enjoy. So like it's a personal taste thing as well.
Yeah.
But you will find your audience when you kind of really get into the work and you're having fun while you're doing it. And this is what I like to say as well, is that if you're really having fun while you're doing it, then like even if it doesn't lead anywhere, that wasn't wasted time because you enjoyed doing it. Because for me, like usually all the writing I do, like most of it is like I just write it because the story needs to come out. Like before like commercial viability or anything like that, like I'm writing because just for the joy of it. Then like we'll kind of think about how like you can get this into print.
Yeah, have fun. And that's what you had when you like. There was a big challenge when you had to change the format of your book, and like, you know, in literature they say kill your darling, so you had to kill your darling.
Absolutely.
But it turned out very well, I think. So that is a good advice, maybe.
I think like I also have to give props to my editor, Mariam, who was fantastic, and like our designer, Eloise, like just the entire team at Flying Eye. They really supported us throughout, and it was tough sometimes to like kind of let go of like your favorite bits and bobs. There are like space issues and just like a lot of even like technical things that come when you go into publishing. But like, I think they really helped me learn a lot, especially as a debut author, and just like bring this beautiful book to life.
Wow. Yeah. Have fun and have faith, and all the best for your book and all the best for the other series that are coming up.
Thank you so much, Alfa. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. It was lovely.
It was.
Yay!
Had a nice time. Yay!